how COVID-19 has impacted global poverty using the US and Canada and Nigeria and Chile to prove this. The United States has a population of 328.2 million people, and the capital is Washington, D.C. The president is Donald Trump, and the GDP is 20.54 trillion US dollars. I thought it would be important to get general information about all of these countries before seeing how COVID has impacted their poverty or impacted their community. The GDP dropped by 32.9% during the second quarter. Unemployment in April was at 15% and 11.1% in June. 19 to 23 million Americans faced eviction by the end of September, and the poverty rate stood at 16.7%, up from 15.3% in February and 14.3% in May, with higher rates among children and minorities. Coronavirus has only proved to continue to drive our unemployment rates up, which in turn is driving our poverty rates up because people are unable to take care of their families and unable to pay for rent and are getting evicted at a higher rate than ever before. Canada. The population of Canada is 37.59 million people. The capital is Ottawa. The Prime Minister is Justin Trudeau. They don't have a president, such as the United States. The GDP is 1.713 trillion US dollars, and comparing population size with GDP, I think that it's close. It's fair to say that Canada spends as much as the United States. The GDP has dropped by 38.7% in Canada, and the unemployment in May was 13.7% and has dropped to 9% as of September. Poverty rate of 8.7% has not significantly changed due to coronavirus. Canada is one of the many countries that is doing a good job at fighting their homeless population and their amount of poverty. So they were definitely able to combat corona impact a lot better than other countries were, being that they were already implementing new rules and new regulations to help combat the poverty in Canada. And there's a glimpse at the COVID cases. They have they have 266,243 confirmed cases and 10,537 deaths, with a total of recovered of 216,868 people. And these charts just show the first chart up in the corner shows how GDP had dropped in the second quarter, and the second map shows the unemployment rate. The second graph shows the unemployment rate for coronavirus and how it has impacted Canada. Nigeria. The population is 195.9 million people as of 2018, and the capital is Abuja. President Muhammadu Buhari is now in charge of Nigeria, and their GDP is 397.3 billion US dollars, which is significantly lower if you take a look at the United States and Canada spending. Although they have more people than Canada, they still spend more than less than half of what Canada spends. Their GDP fell 23% during the COVID lockdown. The 43% the 43.5% poverty rate rose by 8.7% during the lockdown. And in 2018, Nigeria's unemployment rate was already sky high at 23.1% and was recorded at 33.5% in May of 2020, and has not decreased as of now and will continue to increase, is what they're expecting due to the numbers that they ran in the previous year. The fact that they expected that the economy would turn around, but instead, due to COVID, has actually plummeted. They have a total of 64,184 COVID cases, with 60,069 people recovered and 1,158 deaths. And these charts just show the pink chart shows the rate of coronavirus and how many people has it based on different territories. And the second one shows how the oil and non-oil sectors were affected by COVID and how they have significantly lost money and the prices of oil have significantly went down in Nigeria, and gallons of oil, barrels of oil are going for 23 US dollars, which is almost half of the price that they normally charge for, so their economy is hurting. Chile. The population is 19.73 million people. The capital is Santiago. The president is Sebastian Pinera. The GDP is 298.2 billion US dollars, and this number is a lot closer. This number, this number is fairly close to Nigeria, and although they have not even half the people that Nigeria has, they still spend just as much on GDP, and they have less than Canada and the United States when it comes to population, and they still spend not enough or not nearly as much as Canada and the United States. Unemployment in March was 8.2% and increased to 13.1% in July. GDP dropped by 14.2% during quarter two, and 12.3% of the population lives in poverty currently due to COVID. The number of total cases that they have is 523,000. The number of recovered is 499,000, and the number of deaths is 14,588. The chart on the bottom just shows the unemployment rate and where it began in March 2020, which is the onset of COVID, towards September 2020. I decided to use that video because not only because it included Nigeria, but it also provided a general view of what's going on in Africa as a whole, and it also provides evidence as to what we can do as the entire community against COVID, not only countries in Africa, but also all around the world. We need to pass policies. We need to take the health of our populations into consideration, and we need to take the necessities of minority communities into consideration. And in conclusion, global poverty has increased as a result of COVID-19 and will continue to increase if big powerhouses like the United States doesn't get COVID cases under control. Countries from all over the world are suffering, and my research has proved that global poverty is a growing problem. Poverty is not an issue of individual states, but instead an issue of the entire well-being, and it's a problem that internationally, this is a problem that cannot be solved individually but has to be solved together. Global poverty is not specific to any place or any group of people, but it's something that will continue to affect everyone, definitely with continuing COVID and new spikes in COVID.